Hey, what's going on, everybody? Weekly Word 177. Well, that's cool to think about. It's movement, part 2. Yeah, you might remember episode 169, which I just finished listening to because I wanted to refresh my memory, not repeat myself. Movement, not just physical movement, but movement of the mind, movement of, honestly, the digestive system, movement of the heart, and thinking about how your heart and your soul and your spirits can be moved. And then, of course, physical movement and how all those things tie together. And if we were able to get ourselves in a position on a regular basis where we could move physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things, at least for 30 minutes a day, that would be amazing. But sometimes that's not realistic. Maybe we can try to do that once a week. Maybe we can give ourselves some grace and realize that there are weeks that you can't move, at least maybe not physically, but making a conscious effort to move our minds, to think about and reflect on things. And if we're able to physically move, awesome. But physical movement, I thought maybe we should look at that again, because you can do a lot of different things to physically move. It doesn't just mean running, right? You can decide for the day to say, I'm gonna roll my head 30 different times, each different way. I mean, just move your arms, your fingers, and how that movement can then create creativity. It can allow us to bring and harness our creativity. And sometimes these weekly words are just rambling. Why? Because they always happen when I'm in the midst of movement. And there's so many things going on in my mind that I feel like I want to articulate. But at its core, like I said in 169, movement. My gosh, man. Finding a way to move our minds, even if it means cashing in our lunch break or curtailing our lunch break or getting up earlier in the morning or maybe not watching that sitcom or maybe making a conscious decision to reach out to a friend and create some level of accountability where we can virtually move together. I know I've been doing that for the past year with a gentleman that I've never met in person, but he reached out to me, and long story short, we kind of report back to each other on our daily movement. I joined the Runkeeper app and been using that to track one another. And again, it's not just running and walking. It can be rolling. It can be helping someone maneuver. It can be lifting. It can be whatever it needs to be to get everything flowing. When we do that, we can just release so much that might be on our minds or that we're bottling up within. 3 minutes of movement. I just feel like movement is something I could just talk about for so long. I mean, it's so important that Ainsley's Angels added a vice president of movement position. Laura Schuler's managing that. We got so much amazing vision for what that's going to entail as time goes on. Movement of the mind, movement of the spirit, emotional movement, physical movement through our race series, some of the other destination celebration experiences. All in all, movement, it matters. I don't need anybody to tell you that. It's just, how do we find the time and make the effort to move? That's ultimately up to us. And there's got to be a way in everybody's day to cash some time in, to trade some time in for creative or physical movement. Anyway, episode 177, 4 minutes long. Movement, part 2.